Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your July energy reading. So let's take a look what July has in store for you. It's kind of been all over the place for all of the signs. So bottom of the deck, destiny. On the top, financial and material changes. Third eye chakra. And solitude. Interesting for you. Um, you're very much a well, you're for the collective, but you also recognize the individual. And no, they didn't flip over. I didn't see what they were. So it was like, I think they just wanted to get in a different order somehow. Sometimes that happens where all of a sudden some cards will just kind of go out and then I'm like, okay, then I have to put them back in a weird order. All right, bottom of the deck. Nine of Swords. So this with destiny. Let's see what else is on the bottom of the deck. Nine of Swords, 10 of Wands. So it feels like there's an ending here. So some kind of destined ending, because that was the ending was a 10 for destiny. That was a card number 10. Page of Wands, living in that moment. Did I make the right decision? Page of Cups, that very beginning energy, something new. Ace of Swords. So a new start, right? That new start that's coming in. I mean, I know anytime that there's an ending like that, it's very hard to feel like you've got your feet firmly under you when big changes come like that. So let's take a look at the top part of the deck. Recognition under financial and material changes. Under the third eye chakra, Two of Pentacles. What decisions are you making? And a lot of times I feel like this is where you have to start with the decisions immediately in front of you. Don't plan too far ahead. Just take it at a pace where, okay, this is what I can do something about today. And the third eye chakra, I think opening you up to that intuition about what's going to be coming forward, because it feels very that mutable energy. And you being a fixed sign, it's not going to be that easy for you at first. So the King of Wands underneath the solitude. And he's a very good strategizer, and so would she be. I mean, she's been sitting and thinking and planning. Okay, let's see what else we have. Three of Wands, waiting for your ship to come in. And this came under the Six of Wands, this energy of recognition, and then getting your reward, right? Um, so yeah, and and also the Three of Wands can also be a card of travel, but I feel the Towers in the center of your reading. Okay. I'm like, the energy is just kind of unbalanced. The energy feels unbalanced to me. Um, it's like everything's in motion, everything is changing. Um, let's see what other cards come out. 10 of Pentacles under the King of Wands. That's always good energy. That's like tribal energy. Page of Pentacles. And that's like, I feel like that's a bonus or something that you get from this, change of financial situation. Um, at least for this row, it feels like it's a kind of a bonus for you. It's kind of a little bit a new beginning. So I don't know whether if you leave a place, maybe they have layoffs and they give people notices, but you get so much pay, depending on how long you've been with the company. There's something that's going to benefit you, I think, financially or But this energy of this tower, what is coming after the tower here? 5 of Cups, disappointment, not sure what's going on. And I really still feel that kind of energy in here. So my advice with the 5 of Cups is always, yes, there are 3 cups that are spilt, but there's 2 that are remaining. And that's very 2 of Cups energy. And the thing is, this bowl is much bigger than these 3, and it's full. And this one is creating its own magic. She could be contemplating and thinking and using that solitude, staring at the sky, living in the moment, and then creating a plan. And then there's a path behind her that she can take. So there's lots of possibilities for her. She just doesn't see them at the very beginning. She doesn't see them right away. And with the tower, you might get that. It's like this tower moment happens and you're like, okay, that's a big change. Now what happens? So I will draw cards on advice regarding that. Being at a crossroads, I think there's a big change coming in for you. It may even require moving. Just from what the underside of the deck was, this changing and, yeah, I feel like there's moving involved. But with the Judgment card, I feel like there's people that you can rely on. I think that's one of the things that you should be looking at is the fact that, okay, now I need to rethink and regroup and, rely on your tribe because, you may think you're a lone independent person, but really you do have your tribe. So really use that energy. Really use that energy. Okay, what is the advice? What should Aquarius do about this tower? What is the advice? What is the advice for the tower? Let's see how many advice for the tower for Aquarius. Advice for the tower for Aquarius. Come on. Okay, let's take a look at what came out here. Again, this is so nice. This is good. 2 of Wands. So this can be a card of travel. This is like, okay, what are my next steps? I'm looking at this from a higher perspective. What are my options? What can I do? But she's got the World there. And I do like the other cards that came out with it. The Chariot. Fast moving energy. So this tower comes up. And I think at first it's going to be you dealing with kind of the chaos of it. And although this is a triumphant card, it's still not completely under control, right? But it's like it's headed in the right direction and it's very positive. So you're like, okay. And then you get the World. I think that there's a move involved. I think definitely you had cards show up that there's an ending going on here, and it feels like a job is ending. That's the end. I feel like a job. I don't feel like it's relationships oriented. I feel like it's job oriented. And I feel like there's always an ending because this is the last card of the Major Arcana, but she's stepping through and starting her own new fool's journey and opens up all the possibilities, right? So I do like these last 3 cards as to what, what's going to be happening. You are going to need to make plans. This is like, what do I really want? And this may be the time. I think a lot of this energy with bigger businesses are going to be changing because they're going to be using AI in a lot more ways. And I think that's going to cause a change in all the work in the workforce. And it still looks good for you. I don't know what's going to be happening, of course, but I do feel like that energy will settle itself out. At first it was like there's just, and I'm sure it's going to be confusing. We do have Neptune at 29 degrees until September. and then we have an eclipse. So yes, I do think it's going to work out though. I feel like it may put you forward onto a new path, onto a new journey. And once the dust has settled, things can happen quickly, and then you'll be like, okay, it seemed like a mess, but all of a sudden things happen fast. So let's take a look at the oracle cards. What final messages for Aquarius? What final messages for Aquarius for July? What final messages for Aquarius for July? Because the Tower is kind of now energy. So I think by the end of July, you should be getting something, at least kind of a rumor of something. Okay, let's go. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. I think that's very possible. Overwhelm. And the overflow, I'm like, there's still all this water energy. We are having Saturn and Neptune both go retrograde. They're stationing, Saturn stationing today, and Neptune stations on July 2nd. So whenever those bigger planets station, you get much more energy from that planet. Once they start into their retrograde, that energy will ease up. But whenever they turn direct or whenever they turn retrograde, when they're actually in the process of, stationing, that's a really big change in energy. So that's overflow. And to me, that feels like a lot of flooding. And surprisingly, there's been a lot of flooding going on, and that can be um, water getting out of its bounds, out of its banks, breaking down dams, that's happening here in Minnesota. So Magician's Sword, confident in your magic. I do think things are going to work out. I do think it's going to be a good opportunity coming in for you. And you have this confidence in your magic. So trust that you've got the skills. And being that Aquarius is also about the collective, this energy of the collective that came out in the 10 of Pentacles that showed up for you, people having your back. Beloved, radical acceptance. I feel like something energetically just gave you a huge hug. Like, it's going to be okay. There's going to be changes ahead. I think there's going to be a lot of changes for everyone ahead. And especially you have, once November happens and we go into Pluto being permanently in your sign for 20 years, it's big changes, but it's going to be big changes for everyone. And then as it gets close to whatever you have in the Aquarius part of your chart, then you'll start to feel that energy more intensely. So a little push for the people that are at the beginning, especially of Aquarius right now, where I think that especially might be this energy that's coming up for you. So I know it can be chaotic, but I think everything is going to turn out okay for you in the end. Thank you.